And a Northwoodstown celebrates 5 years of hard work. Newswatch 12's Matt Doyle was in Park Falls today and joins us live in the studio with more. Matt?
Sarah, the Park Falls Area Community Development Corporation honors Flambeau River Papers with its Business of the Year award. 5 years ago, the plant was bankrupt and its doors closed. With the help of forward-thinking business leaders like Butch Johnson, a plan was put in place to bring the mill back. Johnson says they focused on reducing energy costs, producing more paper, and keeping the plant in Park Falls.
Most people didn't think we could start up a bankrupt mill without much experience and make it a success. We got a long ways to go, but I'm pretty confident that together with everyone here, we're going to make it a success.
Johnson also had help from former Governor Jim Doyle's administration with funding to get the business going. Johnson says they have 325 employees and added 50 since they opened doors in 2006.
It is great to celebrate 5 years, but that's yesterday. And it's about what you do tomorrow that is going to count.
And tonight on Newswatch 12 at 10, we'll hear from an employee who's worked at the mill for more than 40 years and former Governor Jim Doyle on how energy efficiency is helping move Flambeau River Papers forward in the future.
A local town reaps the rewards of hard work and commitment to the community. This is our top story tonight on Newswatch 12 at 10. Good evening, I'm Sarah Rasmussen. Park Falls almost sank in 2006 when the Smart Papers mill filed for bankruptcy. 5 years later, the town demonstrates what it means when people work together for a common goal. Newswatch 12's Matt Doyle joins us live in the studio with more now. Matt?
Sarah, letting the paper mill shut its doors for good wasn't in the plans for Park Falls. And now the Park Falls Area Community Development Corporation is honoring Flambeau River Papers with its 2011 Business of the Year award.
It was a real dire situation. The paper mill was actually closed.
There was no future for a lot of people here.
Perry Reese has worked at the mill for 46 years and lived his entire life in Park Falls. He says when the mill's doors closed, others were soon to follow.
It was very devastating. It not only affected everybody that worked at the mill here, but everybody in the community. It didn't matter if it was a grocery store or a gas station or the hotel. Everybody felt the impact of a mill being down.
Former Wisconsin Governor Jim Doyle remembers the story well and says he was approached by a group of investors and the union with a plan to keep the mill going.
Hundreds of people were out of work.
Doyle says he was a bit skeptical because it was a time when similar businesses were shutting down, and if the plan wasn't right, the state couldn't afford the risk.
If they had just come to us with a plan that said we're going to run it the way it was being run before and lose money, I don't think the state wouldn't have put money in it. I don't think you would have seen anybody put any money into it.
But this plan was different. CEO Butch Johnson, along with other investors, hatched a plan to change the way the mill is run, and the state came through with around $4 million in loans. Johnson says he didn't know much about energy efficiency when they bought the mill, but he did know one thing.
It was one of the things that bankrupted the mill.
They brought in others to focus on saving and conserving energy.
We reduced our energy costs by over $10 million, and I firmly believe that's one of the things that kept this mill going today.
And adding to the workforce. Johnson says they have 325 employees and added 50 jobs since they opened doors in 2006.
They did it by becoming much, much more energy efficient. So you look at this mill that looks like an old mill from the outside, but the way this mill operates is one of the most energy efficient businesses in the state of Wisconsin.
An example that can translate to other businesses across the Badger State. Flambeau River Paper is also hoping to build a biorefinery in Park Falls, which would produce green fuels and make it the first carbon-free pulp and paper mill in North America. Sarah?
Matt Doyle reporting. Thank you, Matt.